What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my final thoughts for UFC Vegas 42. We have Max Holloway going against Yair Rodriguez. And yeah, this is going to be a card that, I'm excited for. There's some good fights on it. It's going to be a card that for me is going to be short and sweet in terms of the betting. I think I'm betting on 4 out of the 11 fights. Yeah, kind of a tough betting card, but there are some spots I do like that we'll talk about. And yeah, looking forward to it as always. So let's hit up the chat and then let us get started. We have Uncertainty. First one in the chat. Shout out to you being the first one. Tony as well saying, what's up, Brady? Hoping everybody's picks are as blessed as Max on Sunday. Yep. Or Saturday. Yeah, very high on Max myself. Luis in the chat. Let's get it, fellas. I agree. Let's get it. Blood Money. What's up, Brady? What is up, Blood Money? Bill rolling into the weekend with Big Brady. What is up, Bill? Zayed, what's up, Brady? Another great card. Wish you to have very good luck. Appreciate that, you as well. We have TJ as well. We have DXJC also hanging out in the chat. If you all can please smash the like button, it'd be much, much appreciated. Also subscribe here to the channel if you have not already. My betting breakdown video will be posted in about an hour. And then also I'll be going live with me, Uncle Weezy, Narco Cop, and AJ. The guy AJ Betting, where we do our Draftkings show on Tuesday. He'll be on with us. I believe we're on live Saturday, 12 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow with Best Bets. So lots to look forward to there. I do want to shout out the sponsor, Pub Sports Radio. Check them out. I'm over there about 4 or 5 times a week. I'm live with Uncle Weezy Sunday for Stat Diggers, giving an early look into the next card. I'm live on there with Uncle Weezy, AJ, and Luke on Tuesday for the Draftkings show. I'm on there Wednesdays and Fridays with Billy. And then I'll occasionally pop on Saturdays for the live betting live stream show there. All right. So with all that out of the way, what is up, TJ, Adam as well? I say we get into it, starting with the very first fight of the night. And we have Jung going against Kennedy and Zekachu. And we have Jung, who is minus 125, and Kennedy and Zekachu, who is plus 105. And yeah, first fight of the night should be a banger. A fight that I don't have any action on. If Jung was to become an underdog, I would have potentially placed a bet on him, but it looks like money's starting to come back in on the Jung side. And I just feel like this is going to be a very close fight. Kennedy does bring a lot of things to the table that I do like. A couple of those being he's first of all, he's very tall. He has a crazy reach. I think it's like an 80-something inch reach. He's going to have the reach advantage in this fight, the height advantage. He's very durable. His cardio is phenomenal. Lots of toughness from him. Just really good traits that you like to see, especially from a light heavyweight. And that's going to take him very far. And it has taken him pretty far. The only thing I don't like about Kennedy is that he's somebody that typically comes from behind. He's getting beat up and up until his opponents do gas out. And he really left a bad taste in my mouth in that Danilo fight where Danilo Marquez, who I thought at the time was probably the worst fighter in the UFC up until he beat Mike Rodriguez. And then Mike Rodriguez came the first fighter in the UFC. But Mike's now been cut. So I think Danilo is now the worst fighter in the UFC, was able to take down Kennedy right away in that first round, took his back for basically 5 minutes, and Kennedy landed 0 significant strikes in that first round. The second round comes around, and I'm like, okay, maybe Danilo slowed down a little bit. But no, Danilo goes out there, takes him down, takes his back for the majority of that round as well. And then round 3 comes around, and then Danilo's completely gassed. So other than that, Olberg went out there. I want to get the exact numbers in the Carlos Olberg fight. Carlos Olberg, in his fight against Kennedy, he went out there and landed 146 significant strikes, 83 in the first round, and then 63 in the second round. Like, that's not good. Kennedy has a 48% strike in defense, but like I said, he's tough, he's durable, and that's going to help him out a lot in a lot of his fights. The problem with that against Jung is not some bum gasser like Danilo Marquez. He's not a gasser. He has a great gas tank. And I feel like this fight is going to be very close. I slightly edge Jung. I feel like he can mix takedowns in here or there. I don't feel like he's going to have a ton of success like he did in the William Knight fight, but I feel like he can mix in a takedown, 1 or 2 each round. I feel like the striking is going to be very close and competitive. You have the volume of Kennedy. You have the power of Jung. And I think this actually goes to decision, which is like minus 130. Fight goes to decision. I don't hate that. But again, no bet on this one for me. I'm going to pick Jung, but I'm just going to sit back and watch this one for the first fight of the night. See what you guys are saying in the chat for this one. Should be a good fight. Should be a really good fight, though. Oh, we have Chris. What up, Doug? What is up, Chris? SD Crusader not trusting a guy like Kennedy, whose game is for his opponent to punch himself out, and I bet on him in his last two. Yeah, I bet on Kennedy against Danilo Marquez, and I felt horrible about that bet. It ended up winning, but I couldn't even watch. It was that bad. But glad he got it done. Nigel Lee, what's up, fellas? What is up, Nigel Lee? Travis, yo, Brady, what's good? Let's all have a great weekend. I agree. You as well. Roy saying hello. Chris saying I like blessed to get the KO. I'm right there with you, Chris. DXJC, I appreciate Brady for not trying to sell the Homer Simpson of MMA as an improving prospect after outlasting the last two bum gassers he fought. I don't think Olberg's a bum, but I think Olberg's like, what, 3-0? And he is a gasser. So, yeah, I mean, Kennedy, he's still very young in the game. He started MMA in like 2016. I think he was like 25 at the time. So, yeah, this is a fight where I think Dong Jung gets it, but I'm not like overly confident in it. We have Ryan in the chat with a dono, 999. Appreciate that, Ryan. Sorry for being a tad late. I'm feeling this is going to be the week. Okay, Ryan has been having some hot takes as of late. Let's see if he hits it here. Woodson by Rod Van Dam, second round, 5-star frog splash off the top of the cage. I like it. And I get to be a guest next Saturday. Keep up the great work. Go. Appreciate that, Ryan. If that does indeed happen, you can 100% be a guest. That would be that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Great hot take there. They literally had to make up wins for Olberg to pad his record. All Kennedy does is the rope a dope. It's not going to work this time. Yeah, I don't think it does, but it could. It could. I feel like it could be close because Dong Jung is low volume at times. But I don't know. I'm not that impressed with either guy really. So I'm going to stay away from this fight. But I will pick Dong Jung as far as the winner goes. On DK, that's kind of where I have more interest. And Kennedy's actually an intriguing dog on DK because he's not going to get knocked out. He's not going to get takedowns, but he's going to throw a ton of volume. Dong Jung, he's intriguing as well. Maybe he can get takedowns, 8,300. So on DK, this is kind of where I'm going to get my exposure to this fight. But we'll move on. Mark DeCasey going against Rafael Alves. Lots of money's coming in on DeCasey throughout the week. I remember seeing him like minus 150 earlier in the week, and I 110% agree that he should be the favorite. Should he be this much of a favorite? Maybe not, but I'm actually taking the upset here. I'm not going to bet it or anything like that. I feel like DeCasey should be winning minutes of this fight, but Alves, he's very dangerous anywhere the fight goes. He has a ton of power. We saw in his last fight, and he's very good on the mat. A black belt in BJJ, multiple submissions on his record. And you go back and look at some of this guy's fights, like in 2015, 2016, and he's slowing down tremendously after that first round. And I feel like he's actually made some improvements because we saw in his last fight against Damir Ismagulov in that third round, he actually won the third round against Ismagulov, which shocked me. I thought Ismagulov would potentially finish him in that third round, but no, it was Alves who was the fresher guy for some reason. And that just shows that his cardio looks a little bit improved to me. So if this fight hits the ground, I feel like Alves is live for the sub. If this fight's on the feet, I feel like Alves could be live for a knockout. I feel like Diakese is going to be winning minutes of this fight, so I can't argue that Diakese should not be the favorite. I think he should, but I'm just going to take Alves as a pick here as an underdog to get the upset. But am I going to bet it? Nope, I'm just going to stay away from this one. I don't even really like any props on it. On DK, I think Alves is interesting. He's a dangerous fighter. I think he has like a 70% finish rate, something like that. We have seen Diakese submitted before. So I think on DK, I'll have some Alves, but not a ton of interest in this fight, to be honest. But it should be a fun one. Don't hate it. Alves by sub. Let's see what that is. Alves by sub is plus 425. Yeah, I could see it, but it's not good enough for me. The take on Jojua is she got a dumpster. There you go. Let's see here. That's the only take. Move along. There you go. What else we got? That was by sub. What's the take on Jojua? For some reason, I think she might win. Yeah, we'll talk about that fight for sure. Maybe take Alves live after round one. I don't know, Roy, because I feel like Alves is going to have his best round in round one. But with that said, I kind of felt like it'd be the case against Ismagulov, but he actually had his best round in round three. So yeah, I don't know. But either way, it's kind of a tough fight to call. But I think Alves is going to pull the upset here, but not confident in it. B, thanks for what you do. Keep on grinding on, and let's make some money. All I had was Delidze and Rothwell, and it's heavyweight searching for this week's Bobby Green. Yeah, I had a bet on Roman Delidze at like plus 194. Beat some line movement there, and the fight got pulled off. So that kind of sucked. That was kind of my big dog of the week, but no Delidze this week, which sucks. All right, we'll keep moving on. We have Courtney Casey going against Luana Jojua. And according to Casey, minus 260. Jojua is plus 220. And I know this is crazy to say, but Courtney Casey is probably one of my most confident picks on the card. And I know what you're thinking. Courtney Casey is literally 9-9. How can she be a confident pick? But you take a look at Luana Jojua, I just don't see it. People are hyping her up. People are out there simping for her. Shout to Luke. Luke, my guy. He's out there really high on Jojua, and I just don't get it. Jojua, her striking's not good. Her striking defense is not good. Her wrestling's not good. Her cardio's not good. Her grappling's okay. I just don't know what she's great at. I mean, Courtney Casey, yes, she's 9-9, but she has fought the much better competition. She's a brown belt in BJJ. She's going to have the striking advantage, the grappling advantage. The only thing I'll give to Jojua is going to be Casey is like a 38% takedown defense. But with that said, Jojua wasn't able to, really have success in that department against one Sarah Moras. And, going back to the Sarah Moras fight, like that's very concerning to me, where Sarah Moras was dominating Luana Jojua. She was picking her apart on the feet, and then Sarah Moras actually finished Luana Jojua, which is crazy. Sarah Moras, the same Sarah Moras, who I don't believe is in the UFC anymore. So yeah, I'm confident in Courtney Casey. The problem is, do you really want to lay minus 260 on a 9-9 fighter with a 38% takedown defense? No, you do not. But I do have a bet on this fight. I took a half unit shot on a line that really stuck out to me. I took a half unit shot on Courtney Casey to win inside the distance, plus 330. And I have half a unit on that. What's interesting about this fight is Courtney Casey's actually finished 7 of her 9 wins. And Luana Jojua has been finished in 3 of her 4 losses, including 1 loss against one Sarah Moras. If Sarah Moras can finish you, I really think that Courtney Casey can as well. But all in all, I don't want to be too invested in this fight. Such a low-level fight, but I do like Courtney Casey here to win. As far as DK, I think Courtney Casey is a sneaky play. 8,800 in my DK article, I put her as my low-owned dart throw. I don't think many people are going to get there, and I feel like Courtney Casey can maybe surprise some people and get a finish here. But give me Courtney Casey. Maybe I'm a little bit overconfident in a 9-9 fighter, but I just don't think Jojua is there yet. And again, she's 26 years old. She could be making improvements, but for what I've seen, she's going to have to make some serious improvements to get a win here. Jojua last fight on her contract, winner get cut. I don't know if they'll cut her, but potentially. How do you feel about the 2 that missed weight? I think it could actually help them in the grappling. Yeah, Jojua did miss weight. It could help her. It could. The one Jojua missed weight to grapple a win. Otherwise, she's going to get KO'd for her 3rd UFC loss. Yeah, I think she gets finished here. Casey is awful. Yep, I agree she's awful, but I don't know. I do not know what that makes Jojua. LMAO, that is crazy to say, but it's hard to argue. This card's full of really close fights. This is probably one of the few that's not all the close. Yeah, I think Casey gets it done. Casey's really bad at fighting. If she's bad at fighting, I don't know what that makes Jojua. Sean, what is up? What is up, Travis? Yeah, Sarah Moras. She's not great. I think she's been cut. Casey is much better on the feet. I agree. If it hits the ground, it's all Jojua. I disagree. Casey is a good grappler. She's a brown belt. Remember that's 6 and 7 Sarah Cheesecake Moras. Come on, you're getting dominated by Sarah Moras. Like, I don't get it. And actually, on Tapology, last time I checked, the majority of people are picking Jojua, and I just don't get it. Maybe we'll see tomorrow. Maybe we'll see some massive improvements. Maybe I'm overrating Casey. That could be the problem, but I just do not see it. I really do not see it. Not much to simp for this weekend. Yeah, I'm not one to simp. I haven't simped. I don't think I've simped yet. The closest to getting to simping was against who was it? Baby Shark. Uncle Weezy called me out for simping, but no, that was not simping. I really thought Baby Shark was going to win that fight. Jojua probably makes more money on Instagram potentially. Sean V, you probably think Jojua is hot and you want to back her up. Round 1 to Lima plus 550 worth a hedge. I agree with that. Uncertainty. No, I don't know if Jojua wins this fight, but I know that line is absurd. Yeah, I could agree with that. I could agree with that. I didn't call you out for simping. You kind of did. You were like, oh, you might be simping here. Simp bet. But no, shout out to Uncle Weezy in the chat. Hit the like. I agree. Baby Shark did win, and I was all over that one. Yeah, I was pretty high on Baby Shark, but that was the closest I ever was to simping. I did maybe do a little bit of simping, but not a ton, and that's not why I bet her. But we'll keep moving on either way. This is a no simp zone out here. We have Sean Woodson going against Colin England. We have Sean Woodson minus 335, and we have Colin England who is plus 275. And yeah, I was really close to pulling the trigger on Colin England. The problem is I went back, watched some of his fights outside the UFC, and this is a guy with a wrestling background, wrestled at MSU, and I think he fell in love with his hands a little bit. He's out there knocking guys out in the regional scene, and that's great and all, but you're not going to go out here and knock out Woodson. You're not going to outstrike Woodson. And another factor that kind of put me off of England was the Melsik Bagdasaryan fight. He went out there and he attempted one takedown against Melsik Bagdasaryan, and it like really blows my mind to come in there with a game plan of taking down Melsik one time. And he was successful in it. He didn't control him, but he was successful in it. So if he goes out here and attempts one takedown, he's going to get, beat pretty bad. Even the problem, if he comes in here and does wrestle, like Woodson's takedown defense is phenomenal. His get-up game's phenomenal. And I don't think England has the best top control really at all. And I don't think he has the best grappling. So the more I look into it, the more I kind of do like Sean Woodson. Is the line wide? Sure, it probably is a little bit wide, but from what I've seen from England, I don't know if he can wrestle for 15 minutes, and I don't know if he's even going to try to. If I knew for a fact that England's going to come in here, shoot, 6, 7, 8, 9 takedowns, I would potentially look at him here. But even then, is his gas tank going to hold up for 15 minutes? I don't know. So it's Sean Woodson for me, but am I going to lay minus 335? I am not. But yeah, the line is a little bit wide. I thought Ricci would finish her, so if you simped, then I did too. Gonna have to learn what simping is. I don't know, guys. Andrea Lee's kind of fire. Chris saying no simping, just pimping. I like that. Only simp for Aspen Lad's mom. There you go. Uncle Weezy saying if England does wrestle England by decision at plus 500 is tempting. Yeah, England by decision plus 500. That could be a path. It really could be. I bet Green money line hard and did the same for Baby Shark. It was like she came in last weekend and now her boss was letting her off early on a Friday. There you go. Not to mention the marketability. Yes. How rangy is Woodson? Hard to get lanky dudes down to the mat. Yeah, very rangy. This guy's going to have a massive height and reach advantage as well. What else did we got in the chat? Weezy 2024. I agree. Shout out to Weezy. He'll be on Best Bet tomorrow with me, AJ, and Narco. Cannot wait for that show. Should be fun. I saw a place this morning and they sell simp furniture. Oh no, I'd stay away from there. Let's see what else we got. Woodson got no power, but that beatdown was pretty vicious. I think it's too quick of a turnaround for England. It could be. It could be. Woodson's not, yeah, like you said, he's not much of a power puncher, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But yeah, I think Woodson gets it done. Sean saying Woodson by decision. Yeah, I agree with that. Woodson by decision is like, what is it, plus 110. Yeah, it's not good. I'm just going to stay away. Best stat man of the game, Uncle Weezy 2024. I agree. Cannot wait for Weezy's run in presidency. He's gonna for sure have my vote. But we'll move on to the next fight. We have Miguel Baeza going against Chaos Williams. We have Baeza minus 135, Chaos Williams plus 115. Baeza is this is a tough fight to call because the more I look into it, the more I'm kind of iffy on the Baeza side. I thought initially that I think an easy path to victory would be Baeza going out there and taking down Chaos Williams. Chaos Williams actually has a 0% takedown defense because he was taken down twice by Michelle Pereira and didn't really offer much resistance. Baeza is actually a black belt in BJJ. Some may know that, some may not. And the reason that you may not know that is because he doesn't go to his ground game as much as you really like to. If he does go to his ground game, I feel like it could be a huge advantage here. But again, it's not something you can really count on him to do. If he does stand and bang with Chaos Williams for 15 minutes, Chaos Williams is going to have many opportunities. Both guys are very durable. I give the durability edge to Chaos Williams because we have seen Baeza hurt in multiple fights, and Williams does hit like a truck. I'm going to pass on this fight like I'm passing on the majority of the fights, but Chaos Williams by knockout, plus 250, that kind of caught my eye. And if I was to play that fight or this fight, I think that's where I'd look is the Chaos Williams by knockout. But I'm going to slightly edge Miguel Baeza to get it done, mix in takedowns, hopefully, here and there. But the reason I cannot bet on him is because I cannot really count on him to do that 100%. If I knew for a fact that he'd come out here, He get the fight down to the mat, look for a submission. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing Baeza at minus 135. The problem is it's not something he's done a ton. I think he has maybe 2 takedowns in the UFC, which is not good enough for me. So this is a fight where I'm going to be more so interested in on DraftKings. I think if Baeza implements a wrestling-heavy game plan, again, we haven't seen it, but if he does, yeah, he's going to rack up some takedowns, control time, possible submission. And if it does not come out here and take down Williams, if they do strike, I do slightly still favor Baeza, but Chaos Williams is going to be live for a knockout. And Chaos Williams is one of my higher-owned underdogs because he has a ton of power and because we have seen Baeza hurt by guys that hit less hard than Williams. So, yeah, more of a DraftKings fight for me, but I think this fight's going to be an absolute banger. I cannot wait for this fight. But as far as a bet, just no action on it. If he can survive Pereira on the feet, he can survive anyone on the feet. Yeah, Williams' durability is phenomenal. Never been knocked out. I think the issue is that people are tricked and think Baeza is way younger than he actually is. Yeah, Baeza is, 29 years old? Kelly Jordan is the best. Shout out to Brady too and the Texas Roadhouse crew. There you go. Shout out to Uncle Rafi. Appreciate you. I got 7 Williams, 4 Baeza and DK. Yeah, I don't know my exact ownerships off the top of my head, but I do know that Williams is my highest owned dog. Yeah, Williams by spinning knee. There you go. But yeah, I do say we move on to the next fight before we do. So if y'all can please smash that like button. I know we do have some fights going on outside of this. I do appreciate all of you guys in here tonight on a Friday. I know a lot is going on, but a shout out to the ones that are here. Shout out to the ones that are watching in the future. But we'll move on to the next fight. We have Andrea Lee going against Cynthia Calvillo. Cynthia Calvillo, she is minus 135. Andrea Lee plus 115. And yeah, so Cynthia Calvillo, I remember seeing her like minus 105 when me and Weezy were doing stat diggers on Sunday. I ended up passing, and now I'm just definitely going to pass here. The reason being is I think Cynthia Calvillo could potentially make this fight look, I don't want to say easy, but I think she has a really good path to victory in getting the takedown. Andrea Lee's takedown defense is not great. She's been taken down in every single fight outside of the Antonina Shevchenko fight, and we all know how bad Antonina Shevchenko is. Calvillo's wrestling solid. I believe she's a black belt or brown belt in BJJ, really good grappler. The problem is, when I go back to the Chukagian fight, like I really, really scratch my head till this day why Calvillo would come in here and try to strike with Chukagian for the majority of that fight. And if she does that here, she's going to clearly lose. Again, it comes down to like the fight IQ of Calvillo. If I knew for a fact that she'd come out here and she'd go for multiple takedowns, yeah, I'd bet her at minus 135. The problem is I don't know if she's going to do that. She'd be really not smart to not take her down because we've seen, fighters like Roxanne Modafferi take down Andrea Lee 4 times. We saw Montana De La Rosa take her down 5 times. We've just seen fighters take her down very easily and control her at times. And I feel like if Calvillo does that, she could make it look pretty easy. So I'm going to pick Calvillo. I'm going to take her to win by decision, which is plus 135. But yeah, I'm just going to stay away from this fight. On the feet, it's Andrea Lee, and it's Andrea Lee all day. On the mat, I do like Calvillo. But if I was backing Calvillo, which I'm not, I would like to see her go for a ton of takedowns. And I just don't know if I can count on her to do so. So give me Cynthia Calvillo to win. I definitely missed the line movement. I could have had her at minus 105. I passed there. So I'm definitely passing at minus 135 on DK. I do like the Calvillo side because if she wins, it's going to be takedowns, control time. Whereas if Andrea Lee wins, maybe she gets a takedown here or there, but it's more so going to be her outstriking Calvillo for 15 minutes. So Calvillo for me on DK. But as far as a bet, I don't think I'm going to get there. Chaos fight may be like, I don't think anything could be like the Santos fight. That was bad. Baeza is chinny. Chaos is going to remind everybody about his power tomorrow. He very well could. I forget who. I think it was Thomas. Shout out to Thomas. Not in here tonight, I don't believe. But he pointed out Chaos Williams' first round KO. I think it was like plus 950, something like that earlier in the week. I don't know what it is now, but that could be a way to look. I think the majority of Williams' knockouts come in that first round. Nigel's saying Lee plus 115. Yeah, I'm more on the other side, but I'm not betting it personally. Steve saying I'm leaning more towards Calvillo, but Andrea Lee is strong. She could just outpower her. Could potentially, yeah. BR, Brady's go. Appreciate that, BR. DXJC, both very low fight IQ fighters. Can't trust either to get the job done, but these are the worst kind of fights to bet. Yeah, I want to stay away from this one. Maybe it's a good thing I'll be missing the card. Not too much violence. A lot of overs, I bet. Yeah, I only have one violence bet on this card. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these are going to go to decision. All right. Oh no, is there a minus 1800 going to lose in Bellator? Really? Keep me updated. What up, Big B and Wheeze? What is up, Dream Team MMA? How you doing? All right, but let's keep moving on. And we have my next bet of the night. I bet you guys are sick of hearing me say I'm not betting on this fight, and for a really good reason. But I do have a bet on this fight, and I really like Thiago Moises here. I have a parlay with Thiago Moises. I'll talk about the other leg soon. And I know I've been saying I've been trying to stay away from the parlays for the rest of the year, but this parlay really did catch my eye. And yeah, I like Moises quite a bit. The reason being is, man, you take a look at Joel Alvarez, and he's somebody that is going to have a height advantage and a reach advantage. But outside of that, I give every single advantage to Thiago Moises. And you take a look at Alvarez and how he's been winning. And how he's been winning is because people are taking him down, and he's getting a submission off his back. He got taken down by Danilo Belluardo twice. The first round, Belluardo kind of dominated him. The second round, Belluardo took him down, and then he got reversed and got a TKO victory against Belluardo because Belluardo kind of gassed out. Against Joe Duffy, which was Joe Duffy's retirement fight, apparently, Joe Duffy took him down, and he gets submitted, guillotine. Against Alexander Yakovlev, I remember watching this fight. I remember Yakovlev going for a takedown and me saying, yep, it's over. He did the one thing that you cannot do, and fair enough, he gets submitted by Joel Alvarez. And so that's how he's winning. This is a guy that has a 0% takedown defense. This is a guy that has a 0% takedown accuracy. I don't even think he's attempted one takedown, which is crazy. Yeah, he's attempted no takedowns. So how's this guy winning? Well, people are taking him down, and he's submitting him. The problem with that in this fight against Thiago Moises is, Moises is a world champion BJJ. Moises is a legit BJJ black belt. And yes, I know Moises did get submitted in his last fight against Islam Makhachev, but I think we could potentially cut him some slack there. Makhachev is one of the best fighters in the division, and it was in the fourth round. So, yeah, I mean, I think Moises is going to have the striking advantage, big reach disadvantage or not, big height disadvantage or not. We've seen that Moises went out there, is making, leaps and bounds improvements in terms of his striking. He went out there and outstruck Alexander Hernandez in a 3-round decision. And I believe he shot like 0 takedowns in that fight. And he was able to outstrike him, which shocked a lot of people, including me. And I actually picked Moises to win, but I did not expect anything like that. And he even went out there and took down Islam Makhachev, which is very impressive to me. So I feel like this fight can play out a couple different ways. Moises, if he wants to, outstrike Alvarez on the feet for 3 rounds. If, Alvarez is getting the better of him, which maybe he could, potentially, I don't see it, but maybe the height and reach is too much, take him down. Alvarez is going to provide 0 resistance, and then Moises just needs to stay on top and don't get yourself into an armbar. Don't get yourself into a guillotine. And I feel like the world champion BJJ black belt and Thiago Moises can stay safe. I think minus 250 is fair. I think it could even be wider. And I think Alvarez is sub or bust. If he subs Thiago Moises, I would be shocked. And I said the same thing about Fluffy Hernandez against Rodolfo Vieira. But the problem is Rodolfo Vieira is a gasser, a very bad gasser, whereas Moises, he has a good gas tank. So I don't know. I just don't see it. I think Moises is in a great spot. He's going to be my first leg to my parlay that I have outside of like an Alvarez submission, armbar, trying, like, I'd be shocked. I really would be. But yeah, if you think Alvarez wins, I mean, bet him inside the distance. Alvarez actually has a 100% finish rate. Alvarez inside the distance is plus 400. Alvarez by submission is plus 700. But man, I would be really surprised if that happened. So give me Thiago Moises to win, and give me him to win by decision. All right, what is up, Freddie? How you doing? Moises looked like he was staring up at a mountain and face-offs. Yep, we knew that Alvarez would have a big height and reach advantage, especially considering Alvarez missed weight. And what is funny about that was I saw a tweet, I think Moise Audio posted this, where Alvarez promised to never miss weight again. After his last fight, he missed it again. So that was pretty funny. Do you see Alvarez at the stare down? He's a monster. Yep. But he won't be a monster off his back, I'll tell you that. He's got a full head of height on him, and his arms are like 40% larger. Yeah, but we all said the same thing about that bum, Yazong Hu, and look what happened there. Just because you're big doesn't mean you're great. You're a great fighter. Moises look tiny. Yep, he's gonna be a smaller fighter. Good luck grappling. That guy is a monster with deadly submissions. As is Moises. Zero takedown defense, gets sub win. Big boy Alvarez magic. Yeah, he might be magic or something. Moises by decision plus 150. UD decision plus 150. Yeah, I think Moises by decision is the way to go. He should not be in the weight class. He absolutely should not be, especially after missing weight twice. And I feel like he's going to have to be forced to move up in the near future. But yeah, very confident in Moises. Probably my second most confident pick of the night. All right. We'll keep moving on. We have Song Yadong going against Julio Arce. Very good fight here. No action on it. And this is a fight that I feel like could potentially just be lined to pick him. I mean, I feel like this fight can go either way. I slightly side on the Song Yadong fight, or Song Yadong's side, because of the power advantage. I feel like the volume is going to be very close. But I feel like the power is kind of the one difference in the fight. I don't feel like anybody's going to go for takedowns here. I feel like it's going to be 15 minutes of striking. The one bet I did look at was the fight goes to decision, but ultimately ended up passing. I think the fight goes would be like the only thing I'd look at here, which is like minus 180. As far as DK, I'm kind of not really invested in this fight. Arce as a dog's kind of intriguing, but I don't see any takedowns. I don't see any control time. I don't see any finish. It's a really good fight, but I just don't have a lot of interest in it from a DFS perspective or a betting perspective. But as far as a pick, I'll go Song Yadong, but if you told me you have Arce, you bet Arce, I would not really argue it that much. It's a very close fight. In my opinion, the closest fight on the entire card, but I'll land the more eye-popping shots and the harder shots as well. Uncle Weezy, Moises by heel hook. No, maybe. Let's see what else we got here. He should not be in the way. We're talking about Alvarez there. But yeah, not a ton of interest in this fight. Even from like a DK perspective as well, I think Song wins though. Song by decision. Yeah, we can take a look at the decision props. Song by decision is sitting at plus. That's interesting. Plus 350 by Song by decision. I don't know if that's correct, but yeah, if it's plus 350, I would not mind a shot at that at all. That seems way off. So I'll have to check that out. But yeah, Song by decision could be something to look at. From the Arce side, Arce by decision could be something to look at as well. Uriah Favorite will somehow buy an alpha male win. Yadong will win, and we'll get a decision if it's close. I agree with that. But I'm going to take some water here, and then we'll get back to it. Always good to have some water. But we got Freddie in here singing a song from the East. And Anil with a heart. Shout out to Anil hanging out here on a Friday. Yeah, he has the alpha male. The alpha male seems to sway the judges as of late. Probably have too much exposure to Yadong and DK. If he wins by decision, it's only going to be 75 points. Yeah, I kind of agree there. I think there's better fights to target. But yeah, let's keep moving on to the next fight. And we have, Felicia Spencer going against Leah Letson. We have Spencer minus 305, Leah Letson plus 245. Yeah, I think Spencer wins. I'm kind of one of the guys that think Spencer is a little bit over on the overrated side. She is known for going 5 rounds with Nunes, and she's known for going 3 rounds with Cyborg. And what she showed in those fights was toughness. But as we know, like at this level, toughness only gets you so far. You got to have some skill as well. And I don't feel like, Spencer has a ton of skill in terms of the striking, especially in terms of the wrestling. But with that said, her ground game is phenomenal. Legit black belt in BJJ. If she can get this fight down to the mat, she's going to have a significant advantage. We saw what she did to Zara Farron, taking her down. She had vicious elbows, vicious ground and pound, got her out of there. We saw her take down Megan Anderson in the first, submit her pretty easily. So her ground game is absolutely legit. The problem is she has a 10% accuracy. But we kind of take a look at it. A lot of those were against Amanda Nunes. A lot of those takedown attempts were against Chris Cyborg as well. So got to cut her a little bit of slack, but still, I don't think her wrestling is all that great. And then she goes up against Norma Dumont and attempts a massive 0 takedowns. I'll tell you right now, if she attempts 0 takedowns in this fight, she's not going to look minus 305, and she could potentially lose. But I'm kind of banking on Spencer to get this fight down to the mat. And if she does, I think she does finish. Spencer inside the distance was something I was looking at, but it's only like plus 190. I think she does finish Letson, but the problem is she needs to get it down to the mat, and I don't know how much I can count on her doing that. But yeah, minus 305, I'm just going to pass. Clear pass for me. Letson's not fought in nearly 3 years. maybe we do see improvements. And I'm just not as high on Spencer as a lot of people are. But yeah, she should win this fight. Absolutely should. I think one takedown is probably all it takes. But, will she come out here and attempt another 0 like she did in the Dumont fight? I do not know. So big pass for me, not trusting Spencer. I'm staying far, far away. The the alpha male bias is real. It definitely is. Arsa looked good. Letson has only one win versus plus 500 fighters. Spencer ain't great, but she's no can to be crushed either. I agree with that. Spencer's going to start this girl in the first round. Face-offs maybe more confident. Hey, I think she should. I think one takedown is all it takes. All it takes. But she better go to the takedowns. I cannot lay chalk on a fighter who is famous for being able to complete ass kickings by Nunes and Cyborg. Yeah, that's what she's known for. I think those fights overrated her a little bit. In the Dumont fight, I mean, it just was not a good look. I mean, go for some takedowns. Uncle Weezy's saying 1-100 gambler fight. Yeah, I cannot lay any money on this fight, and I don't recommend anybody to do so, especially minus 305 Spencer. I would not like parlay her up or anything like that. She should win, but my goodness. I could see it now. You play Spencer at minus 305 and you're screaming at your TV, go for a takedown. Don't strike with her. It could get bad fast, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think Spencer should win this fight. Max inside the distance or decision is Yair live. We'll talk about that fight soon, but to answer your question, I say inside the distance and I say is Yair live. Everybody's live. It's a fight, but nah, not really. Shout out to Tyler. I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me. Quote from the great Big Ben Rothwell. Brady, he has this in the bag. Yeah, shout out to Tyler. Sent me that video. It was funny. Ben Rothwell was in the cage going off. Great video there. And it made me even more confident in Ben Rothwell there. So we'll get into that fight now. Before we do so, I want to shout out the sponsor once more, Pub Sports Radio. Go ahead over there. Hit the sub button over there. I'm over there 3, 4, 5 times a week doing NFL content, doing DFS content, doing UFC content. On there occasionally on Saturdays as well. So make sure you are subscribed. Lots of great guys over there. If you are into other sports, tons and tons of sharp guys, doing a bunch of other sports. So go check them out. Great guys over there. So co-main event, Ben Rothwell, Marcos Rogerio de Lima. We have Ben Rothwell minus 175. Marcos Rogerio de Lima is plus 150. So yeah, Mia and Uncle Weezy were on Stat Diggers on Sunday. And originally I had no plan on betting this fight. But we went through the numbers. We talked through the matchup. And, man, I really like Ben Rothwell in this spot. I tweeted it out on Twitter the other day. I said, it's a tough week when your favorite spot is a 9-9 fighter in Courtney Casey, a 40-year-old heavyweight and a no-fight IQ Roman Dolidze, but we lost him. But, Ben Rothwell, I got him at minus 141. I have 1.5 units on it. And yeah, I kind of thought the line would go the other way. I saw a ton of people on Rogerio de Lima, so I thought, hey, I might have jumped the gun a little bit early here, but no, he's now minus 175, so it does feel good to beat some line movement. And then shout to Uncle Weezy, he pointed out to me that the fight doesn't go to decision. It was minus 135 for de Lima Rothwell, so I put a unit on that. So I'm 2.5 units invested in this fight. Do I love it? No, I do not, but I feel like this is one of my favorite spots on the card. I know that's crazy to say, but this is the card we're dealing with. So yeah, 1.5 units on Rothwell, minus 141, and then 1 unit on the fight doesn't go to decision, minus 135. We now see the fight doesn't go to decision is now minus 200. So yeah, that's a very popular play this week, and rightfully so. I feel like it's de Lima early or Rothwell late. Ben Rothwell, yes, he's 40 years old, but he's going to have a height advantage, a reach advantage, a heart advantage, a durability advantage. This is a guy that the last time he was knocked out was a TKO loss in 2009. This guy is very hard to put out, and I kind of feel like de Lima has path to victory as a first-round knockout. And going through it, I don't think Ben Rothwell's ever been knocked out in the first round, at least in the UFC, and he's been fighting forever. But yeah, I feel like another path to victory for Ben Rothwell could be mixing in the takedowns. I know we don't see it a ton, but he does have a couple takedowns in his last few fights. De Lima has a 43% takedown defense. And I feel like the cardio is the biggest factor in this fight. One guy has awful cardio, and then one guy has absolutely atrocious cardio, and that is de Lima. His cardio is so bad. Yes, it looked good against that bum Maurice Green, who's not in the UFC anymore, but, it's not going to cut it against a big guy in Ben Rothwell, who actually cuts down to 265. So, yeah, I like Rothwell here. I think it survives the early storm. If de Lima knocks him out in the first round, so be it. He'll be the first guy to do so against Ben Rothwell. He'll be the first guy to knock him out in over 10 years. So be it. But I think Rothwell weathers the early storm and gets De Lima out of there in the second or third round. I see a lot of people on social media talking about the win-loss streak of De Lima, going back from like 6-7 years ago. This guy's win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. He's now due for a loss. So take that as you will. That is not why I bet Ben Rothwell, but I thought something interesting to mention there. Give me Ben Rothwell inside the distance by submission. Am I confident in it? Am I confident on it? Yeah, kind of. Am I maybe a little bit overconfident in it on a 40-year-old Ben Rothwell? Maybe. But I feel like it's a good spot for him. So yeah, 1.5 units, Ben Rothwell, minus 141. Fight doesn't go to decision, 1 unit on it. Let's go. Let's go, Big Ben. Let's get this guy out of here. Really looking forward to this fight. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Big Ben is old. Guess who else is old? Frankie Edgar, and everybody was on him last week, and he was a bantamweight. Roth was a lock. You take that back. Hype MMA. He's not a lock. Definitely not. Nothing in MMA is a lock. Gaethje, Chandler went to decision last week. Santos and Walker went to decision as well. Nothing in MMA is a lock. Even Max Holloway is not a lock. You take that back. But yeah, I think Rothwell wins. Putting my money where my mouth is. Oh, Freddie, you are on the De Lima side. Yeah, a lot of people are. Rothwell wins inside the distance, will be in great shape 100%. 100%. When Casey and Rothwell are the locks, we're in the weeds searching for anything. Yeah, when Casey and Rothwell are your most confident picks, this card is rough. I sprinkled round 2 sub for Ben. Yep, I think Ben gets him out of there either round 2 or round 3. Ben Rothwell, a DK play. Yes, I do have some Rothwell. I think he's, 8,600? Yep, but I can't deny that. De Lima, I think De Lima is a solid DK play as well, because if De Lima wins, I think it's going to be in the first round. But yeah, pretty high on 40-year-old Ben Rothwell. It should be a fun fight. But yeah. So yeah, 1 second, guys. All right. So now we'll get to the main event, and then we'll head out of here. Rafi's saying I'm actually betting Rothwell, but I think De Lima's cardio isn't as bad as everyone says. I mean, you just go back to the Struve fight, go back to the Romanov fight. His cardio actually looked good in his last fight against Maurice Green, but Maurice Green provided no resistance in that fight. But yeah, that Struve fight was a very bad look. And other than that, he's getting a lot of first-round finishes. Oven St. Preux, Von Flue choked him. What's bad when Gazimarad Antigulov finishes you. So yeah, I'm just not high on De Lima. I think he's gonna have a striking advantage, but early on. Under is good. Yeah, I'm with you there. Taking Rothwell, just like the real Big Ben in London, he is reliable and also keeps on ticking. Unfortunately, his hands are about as fast also. It was going to be at a big speed disadvantage, but I think the cardio is going to be a big one. Was Max looking a little spaced out? No, he looked fine to me. Typically I was expecting him to look worse. He looks bad at weigh-ins on sometimes, but he looked fine to me. If you're thinking that because of the Green fight, it's because Green literally let him lay on him for 15 minutes. And yeah, Green has I want to say a 37% takedown defense. It might be worse. It might be 20-something percent. Who would you pair with Max from next Saturday's card? I have not looked into it yet. Rothwell by sub plus 500. I love it. Yeah, you got a good line there. Rothwell by sub is now plus 300. So beats some line movement there, John. Or Jan, my bad. Or Jan. There we go. All right. Main event time. I think I'm getting sick, guys. Yair Rodriguez going against Max Holloway. Holloway opened up minus 400. He's now minus 700. Yair Rodriguez opened up plus 300, and he's now plus 450. So I know you guys have heard me say, I'm passing out a lot of these fights, but my night is going to come down to Max Holloway. I am very big on Max Holloway in a ton of ways. So I have a ton of bets on him. So the first bet is going to be that parlay. Thiago Moises parlayed with Max Holloway, minus 163. I have 2 units on that. 2 guys I really do like to win. The next bet I have is Max Holloway wins in rounds 4, 5, or by decision, minus 105, 1.25 units on it. If you guys were with me and Wheezy on the main event deep dive on Monday, we actually gave this out, and the line went all the way to minus 200. Has now came back down to minus 170, but still, minus 105. That was shocking to me. Could not believe that line. I probably should have put more on it, but 1.25 units on Holloway wins in rounds 4, 5 or decision, minus 105. I think that's the right way to play it. What I also did was, hey, maybe Max Holloway finishes Rodriguez in that third round. So I put quarter unit on Max Holloway to win in round 3 plus 950. So if Holloway wins in rounds 3, 4, 5, or decision, I'm looking really good. And then what I also did was I saw a bet on DK Sportsbook, Max Holloway by KO plus 150, half a unit on that. I think that line is way off. Yair has been finished in both of his losses, both by knockout. And I went back and watched the Cater fight again, and yeah, Yair, if Max Holloway shows up and looks half as good as he did against Cater, Max Holloway is putting this guy out. So yeah, I added a half a unit on Max Holloway by KO. And this is a great spot for Max Holloway. He's a big favorite. But yeah, hot take here. I think Holloway does get it done. I think he does get it done inside the distance. My night comes down to Max Holloway, and I feel pretty good about it. If Max Holloway wins, preferably in rounds 3, 4, 5 or decision, it's going to be a great night. If Max Holloway loses, it'll be a losing night for sure. But I feel pretty good about it. But give me Max Holloway here. In DK, I have nearly like 85%. I try to get more, but there's not a ton of dogs I like. So like 85% for Max Holloway and DK, something like that. And then as far as Yair and DK, I have a little bit just in case, but it's just hard to pick Yair here. The volume disadvantage, the cardio disadvantage. If his path to victory is a knockout and nobody's knocked down Max Holloway and nobody's even really hurt him outside of like Dustin Poirier, but nobody's dropped him ever, which is crazy. So yep, give me Max Holloway. Pretty high on him here. TJ saying Max plus Ben minus 112. Yep, I don't mind it. Don't mind it. I'm on both of them. What is up, Nathan? Let's make some money this weekend. I agree. Holloway over plus 2.5. Over 2.5 plus 144. Put a bit of work there. Yeah, I like that. I think this fight does get extended. I think Max Holloway does finish in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. Yair's only fought 5 rounds since 2017. Yeah, Max will win outside of like a KO, which, what percentage do you give Yair to knock out Max Holloway? Not a great one. So I think the line's actually accurate. I know some people are saying the line's off, but I actually agree with it. Got Max KO plus 125 at the start of the week. Money in the bank. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm on it plus 150. If you have DK Sportsbook, they're actually doing an odds boost plus 180. Plus 180 for the knockout on DK. So yeah, if you like Max, if you think he knocks him out, if you have DK Sportsbook, go check out that odds boost. That is insane. But we'll quickly go through my bets here, and then I'll answer any final thoughts or final questions you guys have. Pull them up on the screen, talk to you guys a little bit more. We have about 5-10 minutes. So yeah, like I said, my night comes down to Max Holloway. If Holloway wins, it should be a good night. If he loses, it'll be a bad night, and I'm okay with that 100%. But yeah, so to start off the night, Courtney Casey winning inside the distance, plus 330, half a unit. I talked a lot of crap about Jojua. Maybe she surprises me here, but I think Casey does win this fight, and you're getting like a minus 260 favorite at plus 330. Great finish rate for Casey. Jojua's been finishing 3 of her 4 losses, plus 330. Willing to take a half unit stab there. Then we have Moises Holloway parlay, 2 units, minus 163. I like both guys. My first and second most confident picks. Max Holloway being my first, Moises being my second, Courtney Casey being my third, and Ben Rothwell being my fourth most confident picks. Ben Rothwell straight bet 1.5 units, minus 141. Holloway wins in rounds 4, 5, or by decision, minus 105, 1.25 units. Holloway winning in round 3, plus 950 quarter unit, covering the 3, 4, 5, and decision. I love that spot. And then also Max Holloway wins by KO, plus 150, half a unit. So yeah, loss invested, especially on the Max Holloway side. Keeping it short and sweet. Only betting 4 fights of this card. I think that's the way to do it on a card like this. This card is tough. This card is very, very tough. So I want to keep it as light as possible. Max by KO plus 150. Yair will not survive this. Yeah, like I said, if Max shows up and looks anything like he did against Cater, Yair is not surviving it. Plus 140 on FanDuel. You're talking about the Max KO. I think that's a good spot. 3 favorite prop bets of the night. Well, the prop bets I have is the Max Holloway 4-5 decision. I'd say that's probably one of my favorites. Casey inside the distance could be one of my favorites as well. And one that I did not bet was, I think it's chalky, but Andrea Lee Calvillo fight goes to decision. It's like minus 300, but I think it's a decent parlay piece. I have it in my Hail Mary personally. I'm kind of feeling Chaos over Baeza. Yeah, wouldn't shock me. I was kind of looking at the Chaos Williams knockout prop there. Max fought Poirier at 155, and Poirier couldn't KO him in there. I don't see Iyer being able to. He's got to land something crazy. Like, even if he does land something crazy, even if he does rock Max Holloway, is he going to be able to put him out? I don't know. I don't know. Modern day Jeremy Stevens was on track to finishing Iyer in round 3. Yes, he was. If there was a round 4 and rounds 5, Iyer would have been in big trouble. Miguel saying Alves by submission. It could happen. It could happen. I'm not too confident in Alves, though. Do you think Woodson gets the KO or sub? I think if he wins, it probably is KO more than a sub, but maybe like a late third round Woodson. I wonder what Woodson in the third round is, because I feel like if England does implement a wrestling heavy game plan, he could slow down. So yeah, Woodson KO maybe late, but I don't have any money on it. Thanks for being awesome to know. Thank you for being awesome and hanging out with me on a Friday night. FN, shout out to you. DKC by decision. Yeah, DKC by decision is probably the most likely outcome. If Ayer somehow makes it look competitive in round 1, I'll be keeping an eye on the live line. Good point, because it could be competitive. I think it is going to be competitive round 1. I think it might be competitive round 2. I just think as the fight goes on, Max is going to definitely take over and eventually finish him. I'm going to say like a third or fourth round finish for Max Holloway. But yeah, anything can happen. It's not a lock. Nothing's a lock, but I think Max Holloway does get it done. What's in round 3 KO plus 1250? I mean, it could be worth a little sprinkle, right? We have seen England slow down. Baeza Chaos fight doesn't go to decision. Seems probable. Yeah, I agree. Not going to get there personally, but I was looking at that one. What's up, Brady? After weigh-ins, Casey Spencer looks nice now. That is a crazy parlay, but I agree with it. But man, I don't know. I don't know if I get there myself. Casey and Spencer parlay seems terrifying, but I like it. I think both win. How many dogs are you picking on this card? Not many. I think a lot of these favorites get it done. I think 1 or 2. Delidze was actually my big dog of the week. It was like plus 194. I bet him at. So that fight fell off. So he was like my big dog. So not a ton of dogs. Thanks for your breakdown. Well appreciated. Appreciate you as well, Ocapo. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to head out. I do want to remind you guys, tomorrow, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, with me, Uncle Weezy, Narco Cop, and AJ. We're going to be going live for Best Bet. We're going to give our best bet for each and every fight on the card. A lot of people seem to like the show. I love the show. It's fun talking through with the guys, talking through with the chat, finding some spots last second on the card. And my betting breakdown video will be out in the next 5 minutes after I get off here. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe if you have not yet. Check out my prediction video. I'm doing the contest again, the significant strike contest. Nobody got it on the dot last week. So I believe somebody was 1 away. So I'm going to keep going until somebody gets it on the dot. Like I said, if whoever's closest, $25 the first. But if you get it on the dot, I'm going to double it up. So go over there on the prediction video, comment down your significant strikes. And if you get it on the dot, $50. It's going to be tough, but yeah, especially in a Holloway fight. But I'll keep going until somebody does get it on the dot. All right. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Appreciate you. Thanks, Brady. Great job as always. 539 on my prediction video. I think I posted on like Tuesday. But yeah, go comment that down there if you get it. $50. Thanks, Brady. Good luck to everyone. Good luck to you as well. Chaos Williams, TKO or sub plus 300. Dope show. Yeah, if you got plus 300, I love that. 1,000, that could actually be the case there. All right. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Leave a like on your way out. One last one. Does Song and Arsa go the distance? I say yes. All right. See you guys. Best of luck. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow for best.